Hello, hello. Welcome back. The Coldplay ranking series. We're back. The poster is back up. Um Shouldn't just put it on the wall, I guess. I don't know. There it is, it's back. We're here with songs number 100 all the way to 91. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Oh yeah, Coldplay shirt. Pretty cool shirt. I got it. It actually arrived sometime in the process of filming one of the other two videos before this one. Um, so I thought I should wear it. You can hardly see it, but that's fine. It still needed to happen. All right, song 100. Again from Everyday Life, we have the song Old Friends. And for this song, um, I like the chorus. I like Chris's singing in the chorus. I like the acoustic guitar. It's just really simple and it feels like an EP song. Again, some of the same criticisms I've had of songs that were lower in the hundreds. Um, It's not bad. It's just over 2 minutes, like two less than 2.5 minutes, like 2:20 something. Um, and it's a kind of a simple idea with not much else to it. And so because of that, I just like it doesn't give me a lot to go off of. There's a lot of songs that have a lot more going on. And for some people, they may like the simplicity of this song and songs like this. I have some of the songs that are early in Coldplay's repertoire that are more simple. I have some of those a lot higher because when we get into that, those songs generally give me more. And part of that might just be nostalgia. I'm totally willing to admit that it could be. And I'm not someone who's like a fan of the old Coldplay and I'm like, oh, they've changed. I don't like them anymore. Like I love all of Coldplay pretty much. In this song I enjoy it. I don't skip it when I'm listening to the album, right? There's a handful of songs, probably 5 to 10 songs that I'm not a huge fan of. I guess not 10 because we're in 100 out of 107, but probably around 5 to 7 where I'm like, yeah, I don't really care about this song too much. This is a good song. It's just kind of too simple for me to put much higher than this. So let's go to 99. 99 is Church. And I like this song. I like the metaphor they're going with here. I'm assuming that he's not literally talking about church. He could be, I guess, but the idea that you can call, you can use the word church to talk about like some place where you feel safe. Um, and kind of like representing, and it could be just a friendship. There's really no, um, there's, I don't, it doesn't seem clear to me that it's definitely a relationship. It could be though. I mean, it's Coldplay, so it wouldn't shock me that, that Coldplay was, that Chris Martin was writing a song about someone, about a person that was like a romantic partner. But um, the positives, the guitar is good. It's a little bit faded back into the mix, which I said the same thing about Another's Arms. I wish it was a little more prominent, and other than that, it's pretty simple and kind of stays the same. I'm using a lot of the same criticisms I've said before. There's just not a ton going on, and I don't need songs to be super complicated for Coldplay, but like this kind of stuff is like it's almost 4 minutes and it's very simple. Um, and even like Chris's singing is pretty much like it's not in that low register, which I appreciate, like Another's Arms, where the whole song is pretty much down in this lower register. Uh, it's generally up in the higher, not like falsetto, but a higher register. But it kind of just stays the same. The feel of the song, like it isn't like build or drop. It just kind of stays at the same intensity and same like amount of like feeling is kind of all just like, it kind of just stays the same. And so the more we get into songs that I like more, the more that you'll see what I mean when I'm talking about a song that has more going on, that can build and kind of and grow and not just kind of just stay here. Um, there's a moment like where it's kind of a chorus where it kind of falls down a little bit. Um, the about a minute and a half, minute 45 into the song, but it kind of just goes there and goes back to the old feel, and then that's the whole song. So it's like way too simple for an almost 4 minute song to me. Honestly, like I could be convinced to drop it below Old friends, but spoiler alert, 98. Let's go ahead and go to 98. 98 is the song Daylight from A Rush of Blood to the Head. I think this is maybe the first um, song from Rush of Blood to the Head. I'm not 100% sure. But this is one of those songs that my issues with it are how repetitive it is. It's a 5.5 minute song, and almost the entire song has that lead line of Johnny just playing like um, I don't want to like emulate it with my voice because it would probably just sound annoying because I don't know, it's just not great. I actually like Chris's vocals a lot, but it is a little repetitive in the verses. It's a lot of just like the same feel and kind of like a little heavy, like he's kind of like like he's I don't know, it's like not doesn't quite like burst out until the like chorus part, which is a minute and a half into the song. I just checked. It's like yeah, it takes a minute and a half to like really get to like the Chris Martin falsetto like fun part, and then it goes back to the chorus to the verses again. And I just think the verses are not very good to this song. Um, and then even the bridge, which I usually love Coldplay bridges, is just him saying slowly breaking through the daylight, like over and 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 over. And that's like the last like minute and a half of the song. He says that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I think maybe 21 times. I have the Spotify lyrics pulled up here. I think it might be 21 times, and he says slowly breaking through the daylight. I'm like, okay, like there's elements to the song that are really good. Um, but there's a lot of repetition, and at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, this song should have been closer to 3 minutes, and it's a 5 minute song, over 5 minute song, 5:27. So that's my issues with it. They're just way too repetitive, and so it's like sometimes I definitely weigh the length of a song into like is if I feel like, oh, it doesn't really give me a lot and it's short, it's like, well, at least it's short, but also like if it was a longer song, it could maybe give me more, like it could do more with that time. And a song like Daylight, I'm like, this is almost 5.5 minutes, and it's kind of just doing like two things. It's like it feels like you didn't use your time very wisely there. So, um, kind of like the antithesis of what was it, Old Friends? Yeah, kind of the opposite of Old Friends, where it's like twice as long as that, and it's like both songs kind of do the same amount of things. And so I'm like, okay, if you're looking for time efficiency, Old Friends I think does probably a better job. But there is a lot of the like quintessential Coldplay sounds in Daylight because he does get into that high falsetto and the chorus, and the guitar tones are very reminiscent of what you think of what you hear in your head. If someone says like, what does Coldplay's guitar sound like? You're probably going to hear one of two different sounds, and this is one of them to me. The more like electric, it's not heavy obviously, but the more electric sound, and then the other to me is like a more newer, like the more swelly and heavy reverb sounds of the newer albums. Okay, let's go ahead and go to 97. 97 is Parachutes from the album Parachutes, and this one, if it was 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, would be probably significantly higher. I felt like I had to put it on here, even though it is less than a minute. It is 45 seconds, and it has lyrics. So just felt like I had to put it on the list. And if it was like a full song, um, or even close to a full song, it had more going on than just kind of a couple, like maybe like one verse, I guess is what you could say. It's like four lines. Um, and so it's really difficult to put it any higher than this just because of how simple and basic it is, and it really is just a transitional song from them. It's kind of like the first example of a transitional song from them. I can see arguments for putting this even lower, but I also can see arguments for putting it higher just because it in terms of what it does with the 45 seconds, it uses them really well. But again, it's just 45 seconds, and so it's like this is kind of where I fell with it is 97. So let's go ahead and go to the next song. I think it's maybe our second or no third. This is our third song from Head Full of Dreams, Birds. And there is something about this song that doesn't quite land with me. I mentioned the electric drums. Um, and this one has like the electric drums in the beginning, but he uses them a little bit better than a few other songs that have come previously because if I remember right, I'm trying to get to the right spot on my Spotify here, but if I remember right, they kind of use the electric drums to build into, yeah, when the real drums come in, it kind of like builds up to as the guitar builds and the vocals build. This is a good example I'm talking about with like a song that kind of does build. It doesn't really do much with it is my part of my problem. So it builds a really long verse into a chorus, and Chris is like really high falsetto, really like that. Um, this is one of the few guitar solos though that's like not something that I really care for. Um, it's it's really simple, and the tone kind of clashes with the rest of the song for me. Um, I think my favorite part of the song is like the last 45 seconds, which is like kind of like a bridge that goes into an end of the song. Um, it's just okay for me. Like there's nothing wrong. It's not like this is a terrible song by any means. Like I've said, I think pretty much all the songs on this top 10 are songs that I listen to pretty much every time that I put the album on. I'm not like against it, you know. So just like something about that. Yeah, and the electric drum, it just stays in the entire song. There's a different song somewhere further up on the list. This is the one that I was thinking of that uses the electric drum to like build to when Will Champion comes in with like a full drum kit, and it like kind of uses it effectively. Whereas this song just has the constant like clicking of that electric drum, and I'm like, okay. At some point in this almost 4 minutes, I'm getting tired of that like the electric drum clicking in there. Okay, so um, let's go to 95, which is Ink. And if you know my feelings on ghost stories from the past, um, what, almost 10 years? How long has it been? Man, it's probably been about 10 years since it came out, hasn't it? Um, I'm trying to look it up while I'm doing this, but um, I didn't like the song very much, and it's starting to grow on me. Yeah, it's been 11 years since Ghost Stories came out. Wow. Um, I didn't love this song, and I still wouldn't say I love it, but I've grown to like it a lot more. Again, electric drum. I actually did not know that I had a thing against Coldplay using the electric drum until I started doing this ranking of the songs, just the last month, basically. Was like, oh, I'm seeing a common theme here that I don't really care for when they use the electric drum, heavily, like they use it a lot. But this song is a really good example of, again, like building up the intro into the first chorus. Is like really quiet and mellow and builds. And then the next verse, Chris flips up, and the lyrics are kind of cheesy. Is my problem with it. My biggest problem with it. Just as a metaphor, it's a little bit cheesy to talk about like love as a tattoo. But the music behind it, other than the electric drum, um, I generally like. So like, again, verse two, Chris like flips up, um, and it's a pretty short verse as well. The introduction in the first verse is a lot longer, so you get right back into the chorus quickly, which is nice. And it builds really well into the bridge, and the bridge is my favorite part of the song. About 2:20 into a 3:45 minute song, roughly. Um, and then it goes like right into the end of the song. There's like not really much of an ending chorus. Um, so like that's kind of a little bit. I would have liked to have had like a big chorus at the end to do a little bit more with the dynamics that you've built and kind of like moved up and down. Um, so a little bit of lost potential there, but other than that, like this is a song that I used to like have significantly lower, like in the hundreds, like 105, 104, somewhere around there probably. And now 95 is where I have it now. Significantly higher for sure. So, okay. 94 is Twisted Logic. And on this one, it's again an example of one that's um, a little bit too repetitive. It also is a little like it's similar to Whisper, where Chris's vocals, for whatever reason, in in the verses especially, kind of seem like he's singing like downward. I don't know how to describe it 'cause I'm not a singer. I know music decently well. Singing not so much. So, but it feels both of those songs. It feels like he's like leaning down. Where usually I feel like he's like more, especially in probably from like Milo Zoloto on, it's a lot more like big epic, like going upward. Um, the dramatics are like building and swelling, and this one's more like ugh. Um, so not as exciting there, and just the whole like the chorus I like a lot outside of the fact that lyrically just saying you go backwards, but then you go forwards again. You go backwards, but then you go forwards again. Like it's just really repetitive. And it is a what 4 minute and 4 minute 31 second song that has two verses back to back to start, then a short chorus, then a verse, and then a double chorus, and then it's over. Um, so it just it doesn't really feel like it again uses that time super well. I would like to get more from it. The guitar tone I really like, and Chris's vocals on the chorus I really like. I just feel like a song that's over it's like 4.5 minutes that should have a bridge. Should have something else more to it. I feel like, um, and even the chorus is just like it's good musically and vocally, but lyrically it is a handful of words that takes um, like like 45 seconds for the second chorus is about 45 seconds, and then the first one is like 30 seconds. So it's like, a minute 15 of your 4.5 minute song is like a handful of words saying you go backwards and then you go forwards, then you go backwards. It's like it's a cool idea for like the theme of the song and the ideas behind it, but it's too much time, I think, especially when it's 4.5 minutes and you don't have a bridge. That means your verse are super long too. You basically have three verses. I don't know. I just feel like the song composition could have been a little bit better in that regard. And so it's a 94. 93, we're gonna go back to everyday life. Obviously Twisted Logic was from X and Y. And then Ghost Stories is Ink. I'm not sure if I mentioned those or not, but this song is again just a classic case of like it's a half song. I really like what's there, but it's just not enough of a song for me to put it any higher than this. If What I love about it is it feels like Chris Martin is sitting on my back porch or front porch with an acoustic guitar and just like, "Hey, David, like check this song out that I'm writing," and he like just played it for me. That's neat, but again, it feels like a song that he is writing, not a song that he has written. It's finished, you know what I mean? So it just feels like it's not done. It's a minute 15, a minute 16, something like that. And I like it, but it's not a full song. But it also, I feel like I could not put it on here given that it has lyrics and it's over a minute long. So it's like, it's a song. They're deeming it to be a song, putting it on their album, but it doesn't feel like a song to me. So I'll keep it short there because that's a pretty simple explanation of why I have it here. For 92, we're going to go into A Whisper from Rush Blood to the Head. Again, talking about a song that's repetitive, talking about a song that kind of has Chris singing a little bit like in that like more like darker moody. I don't mean dark thematically or lyrically. I just mean like his voice is lower and it's like I'm using that word dark to describe. I don't know how to describe it, but what I'm talking about when he's singing like almost downward, like he starts high and goes down into the end of the words and into the end of the phrases. Um, and this one's not as bad as the other ones in terms of that component, but I really like I'm gonna call it the chorus where it says I hear the sound of ticking of clocks. I don't know if that's the chorus or not because like the lyrics of the song don't really lend themselves to a clear chorus and verse structure, which is fine. I don't need it to have that. But that part is my favorite part. The guitar line and tone really is really good in those choruses, I'm gonna call them. And Chris's voice is up in that higher register, which is a good spot for him to be. But he does say just a whisper, whisper, whisper a million times. And throughout that entire thing, you have the rhythm guitar just droning on the same chord. And like Coldplay uses drone notes and like things like that really effectively in other songs that we will get to later. Um, but when you do it throughout the entire song, pretty much, it's not as good. I do also like the bridge a lot, where he like has this big falsetto, like he's like night turns to day, and it's like the whole phrase. He starts like in his normal higher register, night turns to day, and he like ends the line going like up into falsetto, and so it's just really, really. That's what separates it to me from what was before daylight, right? So I think it's definitely better than daylight, but again, it is just under 4 minutes, and it does have a bridge, so there's that. It's just a little too repetitive. Not just like if it was just lyrically or just his he was just singing kind of in a repetitive fashion, but it's also the guitar in the background, the rhythm guitar, so there's just too much that's kind of repetitive. Um, w- uh, Will, Will was really good in this song. Um, and the bass is uneventful. I'm trying to like give credit here, just some positives, but I think the best thing is probably the choruses and then the bridge. They're just like kind of short-lived, and it's a 4 minute song, so don't like actively dislike this song, but it's more of a mixed bag for me. So that's why I have it at 92 instead of having it higher. Okay, last one for today is going to be its infinity symbol. Which if you don't know the story behind the song, like they it's kind of I'm not positive. It sounds as if it is from a concert, and even if it's not exactly from a concert, they do this. I've seen them live twice where they did the beginning of the song as a as like a part of the concert. I don't remember it going into the second half of this song. And I think obviously I have it higher than the other ones, but out of all the transitional songs that they use, this is the best one they've had so far. But there are still several that I feel like are even better. I think that like the um, beginning section, I would have rather it just I wish the song was just the second part. The first part is fine, and it was like fun live to like sing along with Chris and have this music playing and everyone's dancing and the whole audience is singing. Like, that's fun. But the part at about 2 minutes, yeah, about 2 minutes where the lyrics kind of fade out and the song kind of transitions. It's pretty smooth. Um, and it just that the olays at the beginning don't really fit to me with this part of the song. Musically, it all works together. But like having the olay thing that's from like a live concert into this doesn't, I don't need that, and it brings the song down for me. I would have it several spots higher, maybe even like 8 or 9 or 10 spots higher. If you just didn't have that olay part, you cut that first part down to like 30 to 45 seconds instead of it being about 2 minutes, and then have the rest of the song be the same. Because the last minute and a half, I really enjoy, um, like really enjoy the harmonies in like the layers of the harmonies on the repeating of I think it's Latin that they're saying. I didn't look that up, so if I'm wrong, someone feel free to tell me in the comments. But so again, just like have some small criticisms of the song, nothing like crazy big, but overall do enjoy it a lot. And this is from Music of the Spheres, if I did not already say that. That's gonna be our last song for this episode. Thank you again for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And I'm also going to start saying if there's some other band or artist that you want me to do a similar video series with, I'd be interested in hearing what you guys think. I'm not gonna like torture myself, and if there's some like, yeah, I'm not gonna do all of them that everyone suggests. But if you suggest one that I'm like, yeah, I'm curious to do that, whether I already like that artist or band or not, if I'm intrigued, then there's a chance I'm gonna do it. So let me know what you think. Look forward to 81 through 90 next.